Walt Disney, a name that echoes across generations, a name that turned childhood dreams into reality and fantasy into a billion-dollar legacy. But what if I told you that the man behind Mickey Mouse was once a broke, homeless teen with just $40 in his pocket and no plan except to dream? This is the real-life, unbelievable, cinematic journey of Walt Disney. The boy went from sleeping on streets to building an empire that shaped the world. The boy who drew dreams. Born on December 5th, 1901, in Chicago, Walt Disney wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He was raised in a strict household by a hard-working but cold father. Walt found escape in drawing, on newspapers, on napkins, even on barn walls. His childhood was far from magical. At a young age, Walt worked long hours delivering newspapers in the brutal cold of Missouri. School took a backseat to survival, yet he kept sketching, dreaming, believing. But the world didn't believe in Walt Disney. Not yet. The journey to nowhere. At 21, Walt had had enough of rejection. He packed his suitcase, grabbed a few reels of his drawings, and took a one-way train to California. With just $40 to his name, he had no job, no connections, no backup plan. He slept on couches, shared meals with strangers, and used borrowed money to start a tiny animation studio with his brother Roy in a small garage. That was the birth of Disney Brothers Studio. But just as success peaked through the clouds, everything came crashing down. The betrayal that nearly broke him. In 1928, Walt's most successful character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, was stolen by his own distributor. Along with Oswald went almost all of his animators. Betrayed, defeated, broke again. But on a train ride back from New York, Walt took out his notebook. In that moment of loss, he sketched a cheerful little mouse who would become more powerful than any cartoon before him. Mickey Mouse was born, and so was history. The mouse that roared. Steamboat Willie, the first Mickey Mouse cartoon with synchronized sound, debuted in 1928, and it was revolutionary. Audiences had never seen or heard anything like it. Suddenly, the man who had nothing had created something no one could ignore. Then came Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the world's first full-length animated movie. Everyone said it would flop. They called it Disney's folly. But when it premiered, people wept in theaters. It became a massive hit and changed cinema forever. The castle that doubters called insane. While others celebrated their victories, Walt kept dreaming bigger. He envisioned a place where families could live inside the magic, where fairy tales were real and wonder had no limit. That dream became Disneyland. To build it, Walt risked everything. He mortgaged his home, cashed in insurance, and faced humiliation from critics who mocked the idea. But in 1955, Disneyland opened its gates. Not just a theme park, a portal to imagination. More than a man, a movement. By the time of his death in 1966, Walt Disney had turned a $40 gamble into one of the most powerful media empires on Earth. Today, Disney owns Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, National Geographic, and countless childhoods. Yet Walt's greatest creation wasn't a mouse, a movie, or a park. It was the belief that no dream is too big and no dreamer is too small. Walt once said, "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to believe again. Subscribe to Yuvashare for more real stories of legends who rose from rock bottom to rewrite history. Because somewhere right now, another dreamer is holding on to their last $40. And maybe, just maybe, that dream will change the world.